here, so I hope that, we'll have some fun and learn some things. I do have a handout that if we can get that handed out right now, because it's a way for you to take some notes. This is just for you. This is for you to take some notes, write some ahas, write some things. My intention is for you to walk away from this with a golden nugget of something that you can make a change with, that you can learn something new, or that you can just have that aha. But I'm going to talk today about how to go from stressed out to blissed out, become your own stress detective, and optimize your life at any age. So let's talk about some extraordinary statistics about women and stress. And 43% of women, more than men, will say that their stress is on the rise in the last few years. Not surprising. 50% of women say, more than men, will say that their stress is related to money issues. They're consumed by money woes. And 58% of women, more than men, will say that their stress is related to relationships, family responsibilities, and those are the key stressors. So let's talk about types of stressors. See what you recognize here. Family responsibilities, relationships, money, job, career, business owners, entrepreneurs, caregiving for others, injury, illness, or mental health challenges. And how many do you recognize? I mean, we've all had these. Sometimes we have these, a bunch of them all at once. So this is where we're looking at our stress. So we need to know where our stress is coming from. And so raise your hand if you know when your friend, family member, or coworker is stressed out. And raise your hand if you recognize when you're stressed out. Okay. And then also think about that. When you are stressed out, are you recognizing it, or are you just pushing through? So the effects of your stress can be profound on your health. And as far as a handout, you can have places here to fill in the blanks. You can just write down things that might be relevant to you. But effects of stress can be headaches, muscle tension or pain, digestive issues, low energy, changes in appetite, and all of these things, sleep problems, rapid heartbeat, chest pain. Did you know that stress can decrease your immune system, and you can get colds more frequently? Yes. Menstrual changes, mental anxiety, worry, irritability. We know all of those, right? Difficulty concentrating, feeling overwhelmed, low self-esteem, depression, mood swings, social withdrawal, changes in appetite, sleep, substance abuse, and stress eating. There's a lot of symptoms here, and these overlap with other things such as peri-menopause, even possibly menopause. So sometimes you don't even know what's causing what. So let's talk about stress and hormones. So what do you think of when I say the word hormones? I would love to hear from a few of you. Shout it out. What's your first thing you think of when I say the word hormones? Estrogen. Okay. Menopause. What else? Who else has a word for hormones when I say hormones? Postpartum. Emotional. Teenager. Anything else that comes to mind? There's a lot of words that can come to mind here, but really what we're looking at is you can see that it depends on your age. If you're 65, it's different than if you're 35. But it's all relevant. But let's talk about your hormones here. So you see the tip of the iceberg. That's going to be your estrogens, progesterone, and testosterone, which are your female sex hormones. And those are the ones that most women think about when you think about hormones, right? But I have women who say, well, I've been through menopause, I don't have any hormones. Well, you do have hormones. You have hormones, that's what we're going to talk about, and make you your own stress detective so that you can do something to help yourself. So it's not just about hot flashes and PMS when we talk about hormones. You have other hormones. You have your adrenals and cortisol. These are your stress hormones. We're going to talk a lot about those today. And Chris talked a bit about cortisol. Blood sugar hormones, these are your energy hormones. So what we ate for lunch, you want to take a nap or you feel energized, so this can affect your energy. Thyroid hormones are your metabolism hormones, and this is whether you're 35 or 75. So this is why hormones are important for women of all ages. Okay, so the other hormones, stress hormones, blood sugar, and thyroid all influence your energy. Do you have good energy? Do you wake up tired? Do you have afternoon energy slumps? Are you exhausted? Take inventory of your energy. How's your sleep? Do you have any trouble going to sleep, staying asleep, or do you have that dreaded wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning and can't go back to sleep? Sleep is huge in your health, and so this is a key to what your hormones are doing. Are you stuck with your weight? I talk with women who I work with all the time. They try this and this, maybe they lose weight, but then they gain it back, they're stuck, they're frustrated, belly fat. All of this can be caused by cortisol and blood sugar if they're out of balance. So it's really being a detective to figure out what's going on so you can make changes. Metabolism, do you have a sluggish metabolism? How's your mood, your mental focus, and your motivation? Do you really equate any of those to hormones, right? So motivation is one I hear all the time. I'll have women come to work with me and they're like, oh, I just don't get anything done, I'm lazy. It's like, I pretty much guarantee there's not one woman in this room who's lazy. We are not lazy, but you think you're lazy because you lack motivation. Now when you're, say for instance, your cortisol is out of balance, maybe it's low, you may have low energy, you're not sleeping well, you don't have the energy to eat well, and you lack motivation. And if you lack motivation, you can also lack motivation to eat healthy. And this can put you kind of in a downward spiral. So the point of what I want to talk about today is helping you give you tools to get out of that. So meet your stress hormone. Who here has heard of cortisol? Everybody raising their hand. I used to do talks and like I didn't really get a lot of response because now I think with Dr. Google on the internet that we all know what cortisol is, right? But I'm going to tell you what it is. This is cortisol. Big, ugly, scary bear. So we're hiking on a trail in our beautiful Colorado, and the bear comes out, and you go into fight or flight, hide or freeze. That's the survival hormone. It's supposed to flood your system, make you run away, survive, live to fight another day, and basically you're supposed to calm down after that and go into the parasympathetic rest and relax. Well, what happens if you're a busy woman and you have a little bear chasing you every single day? You wake up in the morning and your kids don't want to put their clothes on and go to school. What if your email is blowing up? What if you have everybody wants something from you? If you're activating, as a woman, if you're activating your stress hormones multiple times per day, it can cause the cortisol to circulate for 24 hours. You're always in fight or flight. For men, it only circulates for 9 hours. So not quite as fair, but this is what can happen when you have high cortisol, and you can feel tired and wired. So how's that possible? Well, you may be not sleeping because your cortisol's high at night, and then you're tired during the day, and you're just on this cycle. Exhausted and overwhelmed, that can be when you have low cortisol. It's like you plug your phone in at night and you wake up with a 50% battery. And then you're trying to get through your day with no juice in your battery. You can have insomnia, issues with sleeping, you can have weight gain and belly fat. So this is a big thing. When you're stuck, it's like it could be a hormonal reason. It's not necessarily calories in, calories out. Your body's a chemistry lab, not a calculator. So you need to have correct hormone balance to actually release that. Cravings and stress eating. I see this a lot with women who are blaming themselves, making themselves wrong. something wrong with me. Now, it could be your hormones that are putting you on the blood sugar roller coaster, and I'll talk about that later. But it could be your hormones. It may not be your fault. Lack of focus, and then hot flashes of PMS. This is where your cortisol actually can affect you. Say in peri-menopause, it can deplete your estrogen, you can have hot flashes, you can have PMS at the same time. It's not fair, but these are some things that happen, all from cortisol. All right, so the cycle of stress, you're gonna recognize things in here. I know I do. It's this never-ending cycle. This is the point of what I want to talk about today, is to help you break the cycle, have some insights on what you can do. So, say your stress is affecting your sleep because you're worried and you wake up at night and you're staying awake. You wake up tired, you're tired through the day, you have energy slumps, so guess what? Now, you need caffeine and that sugar and that donut in the break room. It's like, okay, I need that. And 2 cups of coffee. Now you're stress eating, it helps you gain weight, you're not eating healthy, blood sugar roller coaster, another night of bad sleep, and this goes over and over and over. And the reason this is an important thing to recognize is you can't intervene and you want to stop the cycle of stress. I see a lot of women who their hormones are out of balance, they have low cortisol, blood sugars all over the place, and they are in this downward spiral. And it's like we've got to break that and pull them back up. So how to break the cycle of stress? Be your own stress detective. Okay, so take inventory. On your handout, you have a place you can write some things down, but take inventory, and you want to take inventory around your health, energy, sleep, mood, weight, gut health, all of those things. How's your sleep? You're the one who needs to know. I get a lot of women who come in and they're like, I dive into sleep. How are you sleeping? Oh, I sleep pretty good. Then we find out they're not going to sleep, they're not staying asleep, they're exhausted all day, and yet we're glossing over the fact that, I sleep pretty good. Sleep is one of the most important things you can do for your hormones. So we'll actually go back to take inventory: health, your relationships, your business, your work, your lifestyle, all the things in your life. You want to take inventory about what's going on. We've seen Chris talked about a lot of things that had some really good exercises. And then Casey, I think it was Casey who was the first one in this room, had a wheel of life that you can look at to see where you might need some help. Hormone testing. Hormone testing helps you stop guessing. Now I know, I get a lot of women who go to their doctors, they have all these symptoms, and the doctors do a few little tests and say you're fine. Or you're perimenopausal. Come back in 10 years. It's like, I'm not a medical doctor. I do not prescribe medication or hormones. I work with natural methods, hormone testing, nutrition, supplements, lifestyle. That is truly the bottom of the iceberg. Is you can have hormones, maybe you need hormones, maybe you need some hormone replacement, but you still have to put it on top of the metabolic hormones and the bottom of the iceberg. Nutrition plan. How do you eat? What do you eat? Do you have a certain way of eating? Are you eating, are you eating? I see women all the time who aren't eating enough food, enough protein. They're not even making food a priority in their lives. But food is your fuel. Supplements are a key thing that can actually be really great to help break the cycle of stress. It doesn't mean you go to Google a bunch of them and take a bunch of random ones, but when you have the right testing and you know what's going on, I've helped women pull themselves out of a hole because they're getting key nutrients they're missing. And a lot of times this is a biochemical thing in your cells that you're missing these nutrients, which do affect your hormones. Lifestyle and habits. Take inventory of that. What is your lifestyle like? Are you super busy? Are you taking care of everybody but you? And what are your habits? And do you have business stress? If you have a business, it could be your work in volunteering, whatever it is that is your work. And what kind of support do you have? Do you have family support? Do you have people to support you? We'll talk a little bit more about that. And self-care. Self-care is going to be something we'll talk a lot about today. All right, so the more stress you have, the more self-care you need. So, everybody, we're gonna do a breath, just like I'm gonna have you breathe in. I just want everybody to take a nice deep breath in, and then let it out. So now, we talked about all the things that are gonna stress us out, talking about stress and hormones, but let's talk about things, tools and solutions. All right, so self-care. Again, awareness. Awareness is key to everything that you're going to do with your hormones, is knowing what's going on. Do you do self-care? Do you want to do self-care? So who here, raise your hand if you practice self-care. Okay, good. Raise your hand if you would like to practice more self-care. Once in a while, I have a patient or client come in and they say they don't practice self-care because they're so busy in everything in their life. And so let's talk about self-care, because we can always add more self-care. The more stressed out you are, the more self-care you need. Be aware of what you're doing. So here are the things. What nourishes you? What makes you happy? And it's what nourishes you. Here are activities to add in. What would you like to do? Are there things that you're not doing that you would like to do? I had somebody that I know, she sent out an email, I think she was like in graphic design, and I know her from a business group. She sent out an email saying she went over her year of 2024 of every month she did something new. Brand new, she'd never done before. And at the end of 2024, she had 12 new things she had never done. I thought that was super inspiring. Because it didn't mean she had to go out and do something big or spend a lot of money, but those are some things. Add in, what do you want to add in? But here's a bigger one, what to let go of. As women, we tend to do it all for everybody else. We take care of everybody. What to let go of. It's okay to let go of some things. Let go of the things that don't serve you and don't feel guilty. Boundaries and saying no. Did you know that no is a full sentence? You don't have to give somebody a 10-minute reason why you can't do something. Just say, no, I can't right now. That's one of the biggest acts of self-care you can do for yourself, because most women are people pleasers and say yes to everything. So that is one thing to, here's another thing. It's easier to take back a no than it is to take back a yes. Especially think about that at holiday time. And making you a priority. You know that to-do list you have, right? Are you even on your list? Are you somewhere not anywhere near your list? You need to be on your list, and because if you take care of other people, you've got to take care of yourself. But even if you don't take care of other people, you still need to take care of yourself and make you a priority. I had women come to me. I had one woman came to me and she was in the deep dark hole of hormonal dysfunction, exhaustion, tiredness, weight gain, kids and a supportive husband and kids to take care of. And she told me, I need to make myself a priority for once in my life. It's a huge thing. Okay, self-care in your work. We talked about that. Somebody had said they're retired here. Well, you still have, you're vital and you still have work that you do. So whatever it is that your work is. Schedule management. This is a huge one. My background is as a chiropractor, and I had chiropractic offices. I did chiropractic and acupuncture. I'd go to my office. And when I was done at the end of the day, turn off the phones, leave the computer, go home. I had a boundary. And then now I work with Zoom, doing functional medicine. And it's still an ongoing struggle of schedule management and honoring my time. That just because we work from home, work from Zoom, we don't have to be on 24 hours a day. Monotasking and not multitasking. Who here likes to multitask? Some of you may be good at it. we've learned that the brain doesn't work very well on multitasking. So the more we monotask, the more we can get done. Time blocking and schedule regular breaks. I know this makes it sound like really basic, right? But I talked to 3 women last week who were entrepreneurs, businesswomen, owned companies. They weren't even thinking about themselves or eating anything until like 1 or 2 in the afternoon, no breaks, no food. I know intermittent fasting is a thing. It's a great thing, I love it, but it's an intentional thing. You don't want to just get up in the morning and just plow through your day and all of a sudden you're like crashing. Your blood sugar is crashing because you haven't had any fuel. Eat for fuel, eat. You don't have to eat 8 times a day. Usually 2 to 4 times is sufficient, depending on your metabolism and your hormones. Hiring help and delegating. Do you need to hire like somebody to come clean your house? Do you need to hire a virtual assistant? Do you need to hire somebody to do something for you? And your business and your whatever work, business, volunteer should serve you so you can serve others. We didn't get into these businesses to work 24 hours a day and be so depleted that we can't help, that we help other people and that we're withering away. So we need to serve ourselves. So here's a couple just other things to think about. Declutter your life. Did you know that clutter can cause stress because it can increase your cortisol? Who knew that? Did anybody know that? I mean, I'm sure some of you do. Or how many of you feel that when you walk into a cluttered room? Yes, the bathrooms, the kitchens, the closets, the physical clutter in your home actually has been scientifically proven to increase stress. So this is a good thing to think about. Closet, clothes, accessories. Did you know that we really most of us wear about 20% of the clothes in our closet? And we have all these clothes, and maybe we buy more clothes, and then you always go to this little section, and you're always wearing the same clothes. So a tip is declutter before you organize. Don't organize your clutter. Don't go buy all those pretty bins. Declutter first. Your digital clutter, what's going on there? I think that's my biggest thing. It's like, oh my God, just, it's the emails and the photos and all the things that you just kind of like, for me, I'm like, okay, I don't want to look at that. I'm going to just take care of all the other things. Time, relationships. Even with relationships, yes, you can't declutter all your relationships, but you can certainly try to get rid of toxic ones. All right, so mind your mind. What are you letting in? That's a big one. Like, what are you consuming? We got news media. You can watch it 24 hours a day. Doesn't mean you need to be uninformed, but if it triggers you, you need to really take a look at what are you consuming and how much are you consuming? Does it really make a difference to the entire scheme of things if you are stressing yourself out over the news? Social media is the same thing. Do you worry about how many people are liking your posts? Is that a thing? Or just being, the thing with this is it's really easy to get on there and be like, I've done this. It's like, oh, I gotta go do something on Facebook. And then an hour later, I'm all, why did I go to Facebook? I don't remember why, but now I've been here seeing what everybody's doing, and now I don't know what I'm doing. Yeah. So, the other thing is doom scrolling. Going down that rabbit hole of bad news, which is really easy. What other people say or do. We really can't control what other people are going to say or do. Your thoughts create. So this is mind your mind. Chris had some really great ideas around your mind. And how you respond. So I had one patient who She had a family and she had a son, and she had a business and a family, and she had a son who had ADHD, and he was kind of driving her crazy. And she was getting triggered around his behavior. And so part of our work together was not just about hormones and what to eat and what supplements to take, it's about what are you doing in your lifestyle, and taught her some techniques around how she can respond. And when she stopped responding and being triggered, her stress went down. And and then of course he started calming down too. So that can have a big impact. Okay, so ideas for self-care. I'm sure these are all ideas you all know, but I put this up here because I want to remind you to do something with self-care. It doesn't have to be something you spend money on. It can be something, I love library books. That's one of my things. But massage, acupuncture, facial, mani-pedi. When I had my chiropractic office, I had a patient who came in and we were talking about self-care. And she was a total extrovert. And she did all of this stuff, and she was coming to see me for acupuncture, for self-care. So it's like, what's your style? This is my thing, hot bath with Epsom salts. I'm sure I'll do that tonight. Essential oils, that's another thing I absolutely love. This is a really great one this is a do-it-yourself hack. Essential oils you can diffuse, you can have your natural medicine toolkit, you have stress, you can use an oil, you need help with sleep. This is a great plant medicine, has been around, obviously, for thousands and thousands, millions of years. This is how we used to treat illness, is with plants, and essential oils are very powerful. Yoga, meditation, music, writing, journaling, gratitude journaling, that's a great one. Even writing down one thing that you're thankful for. 3 things at night before you go to bed. Downtime, time alone, crafting, learning something new. So I had a patient who, she had a lot of hormone issues and needed some help, and she was really stressed out, and she had a business, she had a vibrant business, but she had it at home, and then she had her crafting table in the corner, it was covered with all of her business stuff. And in the lifestyle session, we talked about what would you like to do for self-care, and that's what she wanted to do. And from just that aha, she was able to clean the closet, clean her crafting table, and now she could sit down and craft for 10 minutes at a time. And it made her happy, and it brought her joy. So those are the things that you want to think about. Self-care is not selfish. So what is your self-care? And what's your style? I am more of an introvert. So I love downtime, yoga, meditation. One of my big self-care things is I play bass guitar. So it's like, I have to schedule that time, or else it's like it gets used up for something else. And that's self-care for me. So how many balls do you have in the air? We all have balls in the air all the time, right? So this is a question to you, is what are the rubber balls that will bounce if you drop them? Okay, so you get to decide. And what are the glass balls that will break if you drop them? Again, you get to decide, but you have to take care of all the balls. You can let the rubber balls bounce. You can let somebody else pick it up. But I thought this was pretty profound around just putting a perspective around what we do as women. All right, so nourish yourself. Let's talk about food. Food affects your hormones profoundly. So what you eat, that's something you can change. You can change your hormones by what you eat. So here's some questions for you. What and when are you eating? Are you aware of this? Do you feel restricted or deprived? I had a woman come to work with me just in the last week, and she was saying she's in her 60s, she's been on a diet for her whole entire life. She's yo-yoed. And many of us have done that. It's like, especially those of us of certain generations, it was always about this diet or that diet, and so we have a really kind of messed up, it can be a mindset around that. Do you stress eat? Are you aware of that? If you do, make it information, don't make it wrong. Do you forget to eat? I actually get this one all the time. I actually get more women who are not eating enough food, not eating enough protein, more than women who are overeating. Do you dislike cooking, shopping, and planning? I get this one a lot. A lot of women are too busy, they're too tired, and they're too stressed. And this is the last thing that they want to do at the end of the day, every day, for the rest of their life, which we all have to do, right? There are ways around this too. It's good to recognize you can eat healthy, even if you don't like to do this. Do you not know what to eat for you? Are you just trying other sorts of things all the time, and not knowing not knowing what to eat for you? Trying what the internet says is the new trend. You do this. Oh, that didn't work. I did that for like a month. Okay, I'm gonna go over here and try this. Oh, that didn't work. I don't feel good. It's about dialing something in that works for you. All right, so let's talk about the blood sugar roller coaster. So what is the blood sugar roller coaster? The blood sugar roller coaster is, there is a thing on here, I think on the top of the second page, where you can write down things about the blood sugar roller coaster. When you eat food, we just had lunch, you're gonna eat proteins, fats, carbs, sugars, and the blood sugar will go up with the sugars and carbs mostly, and insulin hormone will come in to balance that out. Insulin is designed to bring it down. So what happens with insulin is that it can either stay high, and that's when you end up with pre-diabetes, and then it goes higher in diabetes, and then you have blood sugar and insulin problems, or you can be on the blood sugar roller coaster, which is you're eating not enough protein, maybe too many carbs, you eat lunch, and then you're crashing. It's that, oh, I want to take a nap. Who wants to take a nap right now? It's that post-lunch nap. It's the slump. It just means that, your macros are out of balance, and macros are your proteins, fats, carbs. Okay. And so the benefits of having balanced blood sugar: you can have steady weight, have really good energy. This is one thing that when I work with women, when they start doing the right things with their carbs and proteins, they start saying, I have really good energy, I feel really good. You're sleeping better. So how do you do this? Dial down the sugar, refined carbs. So sugars, obvious sugars, anything with white, the white things. All the white desserts, candies, cookies, sodas. Refined carbs are going to be like things like all the white breads, pastas, cereals. I think you all know this. Ditch the packaged and processed foods. This is important because chemicals are in packaged and processed foods. Chemicals can disrupt your hormones. I had a client come in, and she came to me to lose the last 15 pounds, but she lost 30 pounds by ditching the packaged and processed foods and eating whole foods, which is pretty profound. I mean, she didn't do it overnight. I think she took 6 months to a year. But this is how you change your habits permanently. Eat whole foods, proteins, healthy fats, vegetables, fruits, nuts, dairy, whole grains, whatever you can tolerate. Like, I'm gluten-free, but you can eat all of these foods and make it whole. If you can't afford organic, then non-organic is better than processed and packaged. Don't make it complicated. Okay, so women need protein. You do need a certain amount of protein daily. It fuels your calorie burning, helps you maintain a healthy weight, helps balance your blood sugar. All right, here is calculation, and it is on your handout. It's a general calculation to give you an idea of how much protein should you be eating. Most women should be between 70 and 100 a day. What does that actually mean? What does that look like? So the way that you can do is you do a little experiment, be your own detective around this. You can get on something like MyFitnessPal or Lose It or one of these free tracking apps, and you can track your food for a few days. You can see how much protein you're doing. You can see if you're getting anywhere close to this number. You can also learn what's a portion size. Like 2 ounces of chicken is this much, looks like this, and is this much protein. 1 egg is like 6 grams of protein. So if you need 80 for the day, then you break it up through the day, through 2 to 4 meals, and you can actually hold your energy steady. Food tracking does not need to be something that is a deprivation or restriction tool. It is actually an educational tool that you can use to learn something. I work with that all the time with women, and then they decide when they want to stop using it. Some of them say, oh, this is like, I have had women say tracking can be food freedom, and I've had say, oh, I hate tracking, I'm not going to continue to do that. So what's your bliss? What we want to do is connect the dots between, I mean, bliss can sound a little bit lofty and unattainable, right? Like, oh, I'm too busy, I'm too tired to have bliss, I'm too busy. You know, I got all this stuff going on, I've got all these things happening. But really, if you look back, bliss, equate bliss with self-care. And with self-care, you can help reduce your stress and balance your hormones. So it all goes together. And even adding in 5 minutes a day. Self-care, find your bliss. What is that one thing that you really want to do? Do it for 5 minutes a day. I mean, you know, we're women, right? We like, it's all or nothing. Oh, if I can't just like have a whole day to do my self-care, then I'm not gonna do any. So 5 minutes, 10 minutes, teeny tiny things. Write down one thing you're grateful for every night. Write down one thing you want to do every day. Okay, so I do have a free guide for you. I have a lot of free resources on my website. So I have a free guide, Stress-Free Blueprint, 5 Steps to Lasting Bliss. It's on the handout. You can download it there. I offer a free healthy hormone call. This is just, if you want to talk to me, there's no obligation to work with me. Let's talk, let's chat, I'll give you some ideas, what I see, what solutions I might have. And I think, you know, connect with me on social media. And that's it. And I'm happy to take some questions, and I know we have a break after this, so I'll be happy to stay after and you can talk then and let's chat. So, but anybody have any questions?